That's sad, eh? Get emotional thinking about it.
Don't start those drawers yet.
Yeah.
It's gone. It's just, it's gone fast.
Isn't it?
Too fast.
Yes, it is.
That's a nice cup you got there, bro.
Yeah, it's my it's my shout out to Barbie.
Nice.
It's a beautiful cup, that one, Bill. Beautiful.
Yeah, it was my youngest, and
Nice.
I ended up keeping it. So yeah,
Waste not.
yeah, that's right, bro. Kia ora toi.
Kia ora, everyone.
Kia ora toi.
How we doing, bro?
Yeah, good. Feeling good. Good to see all your faces, and yeah, can't wait to talk about the game.
That's a good interview you done, bro.
Yeah.
I didn't get to watch all of it. I've got to sit down and watch some more, but it's like, bro, that's mean, man.
Yeah, bro. Done
It
well.
was mean. It was mean. I watched it. I listened to it on the old Spotify.
You're really good at talking, Ty. Like, you're really good at speaking.
I appreciate it, team, and yeah, definitely made a shout out to Warriors Fan TV. So shout out to the bro Rise Up podcast for having me on, and I appreciate it tons. But you know, as you watch footage back, you're like, oh, did I say and you know so many times?
Yeah, bro. Hard.
You're like, I've decided that during the off season, I'm going to get me a laptop. Actually, I want to get a book. I really want to get a book about rugby league so I can read up on it.
Choice.
Like, because we're always watching it. Like, I've watched it for 20 years, probably a bit more than that. But I still don't know the fundamentals of it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm always looking at it like from when we've got the ball in hand. So it's always from an attacking perspective, if you know what I mean. Like, as fans, we're just always like, oh, we got the ball, but I just really want to understand the game more.
Meo hooky. Yeah, no, it's a good idea.
Yeah, like you can Google the NRL. Google's real good with because you can just find all sorts of shit on Google, but like the specific rules in regards to how the NRL run, how the Super League run, international rules, and it's like they're all basically the same. But there's heaps of good books out there, heaps of good league autobiographies, some real good ones. The Kiwi ones are fucking choice.
And like just the purpose of some of the positions, like I think this year, just my love for the sport has escalated, and I think it's due to doing this, our korero that we do every Monday, and just watching the game more in depth now. So I have an appreciation for the game, I think, this year, and I just want to learn more, like even the league language, goosies and all that kind of stuff. And I just want to understand it more. So I'm going to spend the off season doing that.
Nice.
Yeah,
that's an awesome kaupapa.
Hard out.
Because I don't know if you guys saw it, but Anthony Seibold, who's the coach, he was pretty torn up. Yeah, he was pretty torn up after the game, understandably so, right? Because he's like sitting there going, all the stuff's going on. I'm the coach of a team, and I don't even know the rules anymore.
Fuck him. It's NRL, bro.
Well, I mean, even we get caught off guard every time they blow the whistle, because we're like, what the hell is that for? And like it's that new 6 again, Roy, like every time, and it's like ruck infringement. It's like, well, what was it for?
Yeah. Honestly, bro, when he hooked his legs, my first initial thought was, he gone. Chance is gone for 10 minutes, whatever. But once the ref explained the ruling, it was just like, wow, really? And sure enough, it kicked off after the post-match interviews, journalists and stuff. And
that was good for you guys watching at home, because we can't hear anything at the stadium.
No.
We can't hear what's going on. And next thing you know, it's our ball.
Yeah, bro, that was hard. But Tohu was the first one Tohu ran to the ref and said, "Sir, you knocked on." So even Tohu knew the rule, and I was just like, mate, play the rules, man.
That's exactly it.
Yeah.
I thought he was gone too. I was like, oh, hell no. But, like Charnze just is not. I mean, he is not a dirty player. He is far from that. Like he's just doesn't do shit like that.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think they knew that as well, that, you know, there was no dirty play in it. There was no malice involved. No, it was just an accident. And my question was, why the heck are you jumping for a bouncing ball anyway? Like,
Because
yeah, I know that.
he was sprinting.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
If
he
he'd got
jumped
that
up.
ball, bro,
Yep.
Chance was gone.
Gone.
Yeah, no, that was a smart mate. So yeah.
So they mustn't have had they mustn't have had anyone in the interchange to take him, maybe, because he couldn't run after that. Oh, Gareth.
No.
Yeah, he was toast, bro.
He was gone.
Yeah.
Well, aren't we lucky we've got depth in our team then, eh? Sorry, Manly, but keep up with the kaupapa and sort your depth out.
Yeah. Well said.
I reckon.
And I'm just so thankful for that, like the depth in the team now, you know, and it goes to Pompey as well, you know, just being able to have someone there to take care of the kicking just while Johnson's got the niggle with his quad. So I'm just really thankful for that. I'm like, that's just awesome.
Yeah, hard out. Before we get into it, fun, I just want to have a little bit of a corridor about, and this was announced when? Was it last week?
Last week.
Yeah.
2023 Pacific. I just want to bring it up on the screen so we can all have a bit of a nohi. A nohi. October 14th. So the grand finals October
the first weekend.
1st. Yeah, October 1st. So basically one rest. Boom. Right?
Yeah.
Rest 1 week. Party if you want to party. I mean, all the other teams would have had like loads of rest. But for those two teams who ever make it to the final, so we've got Australia, Samoa, men, Queensland, Townsville.
Yeah.
Then got. I really like this idea. You know, like having both men and Wahine together.
Yeah.
I assume that must be on the same night, or maybe it doesn't matter. Who cares? And PNG and Cook Islands, and Port Moresby over in PNG, and Samoa, Fiji. Port Moresby, week 2, us versus Samoa and
Kiwis.
Eden Park Bros.
Yeah.
That's gonna be lit.
It's gonna be a goodie, bro.
Good game, man.
Then Tonga women. What I'm upset about is, you know, I assume if the Tongan men team knew about this thing months ago,
exactly,
they might not have. Anyway. Fiji, Cook Islands, Port Moresby again. PNG, Cook Islands women, Port Moresby again. Week 3, woohoo, Amy Park. Right.
Kiwis, kangaroos.
Right.
Nice.
Of course, it's in Australia.
Of course it is.
Yeah. How we spoil that party, bro.
But you know, Amy Park always has a lot of Warriors fans going along to the games as well, bro. So
Yep, true.
But not as many as Aussie fans, obviously. This kind of feels like it's the same night, or it could be the next day. Then we've got Fiji, PNG. Has anyone seen Fiji play? Fiji men's play? Ty, have you watched much of the Fiji men's? Are they?
Yeah, man, they're deep. They've got a lot of players. Yeah,
they got
first grade depth, eh?
They got stacked.
Bro. Hard.
Cool. And then we got the final, what's it? Finals in Hamilton. I'm actually really happy about that.
Yeah.
They took it away from Auckland and, you know, giving it to Hamilton.
Mm-hmm.
And Port Moresby for the men's Pacific Bowl. Okay, so no Wahine final. Is that what it's saying?
Yeah, that
I'm reading.
I was wondering if that was a misprint. It's like, yeah. I'm thinking the second final is possibly the women's one.
Hang on.
You'd hope so.
Yeah.
Nah, because like what it looks like they're doing is the NFL or, you know, other things in America where they're like, you got a cup in a bowl.
Okay.
So is the bowl for like fucking runner up or some bullshit, or?
I believe so, but
Wow.
I don't know.
And the two different like the bowl will be the Fiji Cook Island one and PNG one.
Two different
like
divisions.
Wow.
Is that sort of like a tier 2 final?
Is it?
Yeah, that's what I'm assuming.
I don't know, that's what I'm asking.
My only assumption in there too is because you got Port Moresby, which PNG's from, so they would be hoping that they make it to the final either between Fiji and Cook Island. So, and then the other one is obviously for the Australia, New Zealand, Tonga, Samoa.
Okay.
Yeah, so probably Tonga is on tour. Like I would have loved to have seen them in this
Harder.
Oh, sorry, not Tonga. Yes.
Pacific Championship, but I know they're in it next year. I know next year they're everyone.
Yeah. So the women's final might possibly be in week 3, the October 28, 29. But it's hard to understand it, and because it's been such short notice, like no advertising, no nothing. And it's just,
It feels like it's been thrown together, right?
yeah,
Not
bro.
a real thought process.
Hard. Absolutely.
Bit of a last minute party at mine kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry for the short invite.
Sorry for this short invite, but me and a couple of the bros and their wives are coming over on Sunday for a barbecue.
Yeah. Bring a box.
I reckon.
Bring a box.
Because I wonder. I was just going to say, I wonder if there's with that both finals, if there's a relegation system, like those that are playing in that bowl final get the chance to potentially compete for the other 4. I don't think it is, because I think obviously Tonga going on there. I said wrongly, but Tonga going on obviously to the England tour. So I think they haven't. Yeah, I think it's not. I think that there's a relegation. I think there's going to be a readjustment, probably next year or something like that.
Right.
So I agree with you. It seems like it's just being smacked together.
Man, I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining because we can't
International games always good.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And we've been talking on this kaupapa, like wouldn't it be cool if we had Tonga, Cook Islands, Samoa, Australia. No, actually I did say in my chats to you guys, screw Australia. We'll just have it between the Pacific Islands.
Exactly, bro.
But look, I'm not complaining. I would like it if there was like a regular international, this is happening at this time every single year, and there's build up for it. So, the closest thing that we can actually compare it to would be like Union, right? Union has had up in the Northern Hemisphere, they got the hell's it called? The Six Nations, right? Where all of the Welsh and English and like that's a regular thing. Yeah. So they'll have their regular seasons and all their different competitions, and I think at the end of the year they'll all come together and all the teams get picked, and there's a bit of a buzz around it. 4 Nations. There was a 4 Nations thing we had for a while.
Oh yeah, but that's the problem with the international window. The format, the fucking international federation's a shit house, bro. Like their organization, the organizational side of it is just a joke, and it's a real shame because the numbers are growing, and more players are leaving, like the Kangaroos and the Kiwis, to play for Tō Samoa, Mate Tonga. They're going back to their home teams, and it's like, fuck yeah, that's the one, man. But rugby league's just it's a bit of a farce. I mean, they announced how France have bailed on the next World Cup, and it's just another clear example of just how disorganized we are as I guess not so much us as a sport, not so much the fans, but definitely the organized bodies. It's just like, mate, it's shocking.
Because what I'm shocked at is that this isn't actually organized by the International Rugby League Association. This is an NRL product. So maybe it took the NRL to step in and go, well, if you guys can't organize a piss up at a brewery, then we'll just do it. Now, I'm not that keen on a very powerful organization having control over the international games, but at this moment in time, there's no one else coming to the party. Right? There's no one else coming to. So I'm very grateful for the NRL for doing this.
To an extent, bro, I think because the NRL are so well established, and they I think Addo and Volandis are on the international board, so they're board members. Oh, that stuff you already shared with us, and it's kind of like, it's fucking shady, bro, because they pretty much, and I mean that's just me, but they sit at the table and they make these decisions, and it's like, well, there's more people involved with. It's not just the NRL. The NRL have got the biggest stakes in it. But they need to be able to listen to those smaller organizations and take it on board.
How much of it is due to financial constraints? Like, is it because the NRL has a shitload of cash, whereas fucking the New Zealand Rugby League, for example, has got fuck all?
Comes down to money, bro.
Bro.
It'll have to come down to money, and this international, whatever it's called, will pull money, just like I suppose you could kind of compare it to. Good example, right? When you go to Australia and you go to like say the West Tigers club rooms over there, right? They're fucking ginormous, right? They're just huge. When you go to like the Penrith club pubs or whatever the hell they call it, they're massive. They're ginormous, right? And a mate of mine who used to work over there for league team over there goes, well, the flows of money that come from clubs all the way through, all the way up to the actual club is like millions, like millions, like, you know, it's just so much money. I suppose what I'm trying to get at is, and I don't know if this is for a fact, someone can just like correct me online in the comments, please do, is that NRL, as you've just said it, bro, has just got so much money they can organize this stuff as well. Whereas international, whatever the hell they're called, and definitely New Zealand Rugby League can't really compete.
Sadly.
Well, they probably haven't even been given but they haven't even been given an invitation to the fucking dinner party from, you know what I mean? It'll just be in the NRL and But the only thing that annoys me about that is the fact that we have to have, and I've never agreed with it, and I don't like it, is having NRL officials in international games. I just think, I personally think it's a bit biased. Like, I'm like, come on, man. Like, I remember years and years and years, a long time ago, when we'd have international games, Kiwis in Australia, and we'd have like a French referee. We had that in Parliament, you know, we'd have French officials or whatever, and I just don't agree with it, because I do think, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong,
too
but
much.
I do think there can be a level of bias when they're just all NRL officials, and I think
I agree.
Absolutely.
It's probably one of the only international sports that I know of that have got the local body kind of control, having quite a heavy, powerful stake in it, right? It'll be like, you know, like the Olympics, and just having like the NBA have organized just the basketball bit, and they've got all their officials in there, and you know, it's just all NBA. That's so I assume it's because, as we've all said, it's just so disorganized at the international level.
Yeah.
Because whatever happened to whatever happened to the Anzac test?
Yeah, no, I got blown out of the park just because the Kangaroos were always winning them. And the format just really never suited the Kiwis. Those one-off test matches were just always worked against us. And I think one of the last ones they smoked us. And it was just a bad investment in the end. You know, we're like, nah, this is a waste of time, which is a shame because I really liked that. I like that, just having that one-off test, start of the season, you know, or whenever it was, and we roll into it. But this time the October, November window was always for test matches anyway, you know. So you know, get your grand final done with, play these internationals, and the international games were always, or the series or whatever. Whenever they come together, it was always a good way to finish the year, you know, because you get used to the NRL, but by having those internationals just finish the year was just choice, you know. But again, it's just a shame it hasn't been kind of like the organisation side of it's just shocking.
I think also like COVID absolutely murdered the international game. So I think we're still on a bit of a rebuild as far as that's concerned as well.
Oh, good point.
Okay.
Yeah, good point.
I was going to say, when was the last time, you guys probably know more, when was the last time there was like a Kiwis tour? Or like like a while ago. Like a tour, like an actual tour where they went to like, I don't know, Italy or Japan, or I don't know, just anywhere.
We used to we used to play the Lions, so the Great British team, which is a mix of the English, the Welsh, but they were they'd always come here. They, you know, and every second year was like we'd go up that way, and that was a fucking mean tournament, bro. But yeah, I'm just trying to remember the last time, because the last time I went to a Lions game,
it was 2019 when they last versed the Lions.
Oh, there you go.
That was over here. I think the last actual international tour besides the World Cup was 2018 when they went over to England.
And those are awesome tournaments, man, because it's just like it's right out of the context of the NRL. We're over there. They played in England. They played in all these old school stadiums. The fucking crowds are just tribal as, and they're singing and chanting through the whole game. And it's just like, mate, it's that atmosphere. We there's like as much as we've been getting numbers at our games, mate, the Kiwi fans and the Aussie fans have got nothing on the Poms. The Poms are just fucking crazy, but it's good in a good way.
And on that, could you guys hear the atmosphere on the TV?
Yes.
Bits and pieces, yeah.
Bits and pieces? Okay.
I was actually thinking, funny you say about the crowds, because when everyone was chanting at that game, I was like, man, that sounds like a soccer match over in England. Because you know how they're really loud, like that's what I thought. And I just love it. I'm like, man, like the blackout, the lights, I'm just like, man, like if I was a team coming over here to play and they blacked out and all these, I'd be like, what the fuck is going on here? Like, damn, they love these guys, and so it's good. It's good for us. It's good for it's good for the boys, just to feel that love, and support.
Yeah. As much as I hate to admit it, the bandwagoners do have a good use. when the going's good. When the gun's good, everyone in there, even if they've only been a fan for 5 minutes, is just
like, and I have to say, like, a big shout out to all the sign makers, man. There's always some really good signs.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's been some real good ones lately, Crack me up.
Yeah, they've been choice.
Shout out just real quickly to the Spy Warmen. The Spy Warmen, the ones those guys.
Their choice, bro. They just go hard. It looks mean.
They're growing. Like the first game I saw them was Raiders, I think. No. Was it Raiders? Yeah, it was Raiders. It was Raiders. And there was probably 10. And honestly, now there's about 30 or 40.
Yeah. Because I didn't get the Spider-Man thing. I'm glad you said that, bro. It's like, okay, sure.
Did you see one of them was wearing a Manly jersey? He wasn't
He's the villain, bro. He was the villain. No, that was choice though. They No, it was good. It was good. Good night.
Pick over into our player ratings. Fando, who's the DJ tonight? Who's the one?
DJ.
That'll be me.
Oh, the bro.
DJ.
Nice.
So kicking off now.
Yeah, bro.
Sweet as. All right. So I'm going to start with the bench. I believe Tarns is on the bench. We'll shoot over to you. Give us your rankings and ratings of the bench, please, Tarns.
Okay, I will do that. So I actually watched the replay because I thought I was doing the back, so I wrote all these notes down.
Pleasure.
I just never know what the fuck's going on. On the messenger, I was like, oh, man.
Who is on the backs? Who is?
It'll be me, bro.
Okay.
I'll start with Dylan Walker. So he entered the game around the 17th minute mark, which is earlier than previous weeks, where he was coming on around the 20th minute mark. He played for 54 minutes.
Nice.
Against Manly, compared to the Tigers game where he only played 20 minutes and Titans 30. And actually, it's the most minutes he's played since round 17, coming off the bench. So I just, from my point of view, the tempo and speed at which we were playing seemed to increase once he took the field. I don't know if you've noticed it, but we weren't slow, but I just came on. Just that ruck speed and everything just was faster. He's really good at getting close to the defensive line and then does those little one-out short passes. I think he offers SJ a lot of support as another playmaker, not so much to take the pressure off SJ, but it just gives SJ a minute to step back and read the defensive line and then set up for another attacking play. It just gives him time to have a look around and look for some weak spots in the defence. So, Dills played 54 minutes for 100 meters, 20 post-contact meters, 30 tackles, and 2 misses.
Oh,
And I think actually all our bench except for Lussick, so Bailey and Joshy, they actually played longer minutes than previous weeks. I know Bailey Sirenen played 28 minutes. He got a tackle break, 47 meters, and 15 of those were post-contact, 12 tackles and 0 misses.
Because Bailey played in the middle Friday night, eh? He was more middle forward for the game.
Yep, that would make sense with Lussick being on the bench.
Yeah. I thought he played pretty good, actually.
Yeah, so did I was going to say that. I thought he was quite solid. I actually prefer him there than coming off into the hooker role. Like, I just think it really suited. So I'm really thankful that Lussick was actually on the bench, because did you see the difference in the dynamics, like just having Lussick there and then having Sirenen being able to come into that middle forward role instead of into the hooker role?
Yeah,
agreed.
Like, it strengthened our front line, our front row. And Joshy, he had a good game, man. And just the way he lines up next to SJ, Josh, and he just, those nice offloads from out from SJ, and he's just always there. He's like Mr. Reliable off the bench.
Yep.
And so Josh played 31 minutes. He had a line break, 2 tackle breaks, 42 meters with 17 post-contact meters, 13 tackles and 2 misses. And I just want to highlight that our bench actually made a decent amount of post-contact meters, I reckon. They all had post-contact meters. Dylan had 20, Bailey Sirenen had 15, and 17 for Josh. Freddie Lussick, he played 15 minutes. I really can't remember, like, when you're watching the game live, you kind of, all your emotions and your adrenaline's pumping. So sometimes you don't recognise what mahi the players are doing because you're just too involved in the game. He played 19 minutes, and he made 5 meters, 10 tackles and 0 misses. But I think he did a good job, man. I mean, because that game was pretty intense, and I think when I watched the replay, I actually thought it was a really good game.
And Freddie tidies up the ruck area. So, having that specialist hooker in, he's pretty sharp.
Zero's play of the ball can be quite slow too. I think he's, in that respect, I just think he's a bit slow. So Lussick offered that. And I think that's why we kept that tempo. But what I liked about the boys is that, because Manly they were playing really fast footy, their ruck speed fast, but we didn't try and match their speed. We just kind of kept to our own tempo.
Yep.
And which was really good. And I just, upon reviewing the game and watching the replay, I thought it was a really good game, apart for some, but whoever's doing the backs, well, you can review.
I got you.
I wouldn't mind fucking listening to those stats. So I reckon our interchange done well, and I'm going to give them a 7.
True.
Nice.
I'm not going to do individual ratings for them. I'm just going to give my group rating a 7.
Yep,
Solid.
not a problem.
Awesome.
Oh, I was going to say too, Dylan Walker looked like Monty Beetham at different times. I was just watching it and I was just thinking, like a throwback to 2003. It was just those different angles and like him flying into the tackles. He was lining guys up too. On the second half, he was putting on some good hits. It's just like Monty, just the ball head and stuff. But he did. He played well.
Right up, he was right up close to that defensive line, and then just boom, just those little passes trying to put his men through. I like that.
And obviously his ex-team, so he may have been out for one.
Yeah, exactly, bro.
Yeah. Definitely. All right, well said, Thomas. So on that note, since we alluded to it just prior, I think maybe we head over to Real and you give us your ratings for the backs, please, bro.
Sure. Hopefully it won't be too shocking. So I had the left edge, right edge, and it was an interesting game. So I watched the game and then done the review again. the closer scrutiny on those individual players. I'll start with my lowest rating and then work my way up. So obviously I'm going to start with Marcelo.
Yes.
But yeah. So Montoya's stats: ran for 93 meters, 11 post contact meters, 0 tackle breaks, made 4 tackles, but didn't miss any. 3 errors. Yeah. Well, that's what the stats are saying. Didn't miss any tackles. That's probably because he wasn't where he was supposed to be.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too, bro.
Yeah. But yeah, the 3 errors, and I think the 3 errors are more just those when sub scored kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, played for 70 minutes, went off of his HIA. So those were his stats. But yeah, a bit of a mixed bag from Montoya. He was good with his hit-ups. You know, he was getting stuck in first half. But yeah, just got stripped. He got stripped twice by sub. The third one, that fucking pass was forward. It bounced forward, and it was the way he reacted when he scored the try, he was either thinking, "Fuck, that was easy," or waiting for the ref to say, "Yeah, no try," but it never came. And yeah, so you know, Montoya got caught on that one. Yeah, and then dropped the ball early in the second half. And then when he dropped the ball, when DCE come in for the tackle, Daly, I watched it again, and Daly Evans actually kicked him in the balls, you know, but that was because of the way Montoya hit him. His leg just kind of automatically went up, got him straight between the legs, and Montoya dropped the ball, you know, and I watched it a few times, and I was thinking, well, yeah, and I'm not saying Sherry Evans is a dirty player, because he's not. I think he's actually really, you know, he's
a smart player.
Yeah, he knows his stuff, but yeah, it was just unfortunate. Yeah, ran good settlers before he got monstered, and went off for the HIA. Yeah, and came back for the last 3 minutes. So for me, Marcelo got a 6 out of 10. He still did have a good work rate, and yeah, okay, he dropped the ball a couple of times, but you know, Uncle Anaru sees something in him, and he keeps him there week in, week out. Yeah, it was probably one of his more quieter games, but yeah, I'm not sure, you know, where his head's at, or fucking what's happening out on, if there's anything happening outside of the game, but yeah, so I gave him a 6 out of 10.
Cool.
Right, Adam had his hands full with Morgan Harper. They both pretty much cancelled each other out. They were both lining each other up. They were both trying it on, and they I did notice that Harper was probably a lot more aggressive on defense, and if it wasn't Pompey getting a bit of treatment, it was definitely Metcalf. He was it was like Harper just was honing in on him and would try and smash him when he got his chances. But yeah, good yards from Adam. Yeah, he got stripped by that Ruben Garrick for Sub's second try. And the almost intercept, you know, if he'd caught it, they could have kind of swung things back our way, but hey, is what it is. Good D second half, awesome try-saving tackle. Got right under Ulakotu, got right underneath the second rower, and you know, the other two defenders, whoever they were, that got on top and held him up. So that was, you know, he defensive wise, he wasn't too bad. Made good yards on his hit ups. Good kicking option for now outside of Shawnee.
Definitely.
So yeah, so
Agree.
Adam for me. Oh, his stats. Sorry. So Adam's stats for the game: ran for 78 meters, 29 post contact meters, 1 tackle break, 17 tackles, but he missed 2, 1 error, and played for the duration. He was on for the whole game. Yeah. So Adam for me got an 8 out of 10.
Wow.
I think his attacking game was good, man. Like, you've seen him make those runs down the field. I think he got like 2 nice breaks where he made some good meters. You know, even Marcelo's break down the flank. You know, he made some when he got the offload. Metcalf went over, but it got disallowed because of the obstruction by Jackson Ford, which was a bullshit obstruction. So DCE obviously fucking. I saw it the total opposite. I think DCE just was he went in and made contact. That's what I think.
He sold it.
And that's what I mean about him just being a really clever player.
Yeah.
You know,
Absolutely.
Like even holding those passes up down the left flank, you know, just timing them perfectly.
Your double pump.
You know, he'd suck in Pompey and Montoya. And
they go bite.
You know, as soon as they took the bait, that offload came and he was over.
Yeah. Right, moving right along. Rocco. Rocco's his stats. Sorry. So ran for 77 meters, 22 post contact meters, 2 tackle breaks, 19 tackles, which isn't too bad. 3 missed tackles, the 1 error, and he played for the duration. He was on for the whole 80. Rocco, solid first half, made his tackles, ran his lines. Nice flick pass to Dallin for Dallin's first try. Rocco's a good defender. He kept his opposite honest all night, you know, and the young fella, his opposite, was trying it on. You know, and Rocco was returning serve, you know, so those times he was trying to break through, he wasn't backing away from it. So, you know, I thought that was what I like about Rocco is that his defense is improving. It is getting better and better. He dropped the ball cold while we were attacking. That would have been good to see how that would have played out. But Rocco's really good at putting pressure on while defending. His running and passing game will come. It'll come with time. So my rating for him was 8 out of 10.
Nice.
The young fella.
Yeah. High risk. There was a high risk little tip pass to Dallin that came off. He's done that a few times and it hasn't. So
exactly.
It came off on this one. It looked good. So
and obviously they're practicing it. You know, they're just if it works, it works. But and my last player, Dallin, the Superman. Love his plays. He would have been my player of the day, easy. But that's just me. Was busy in both halves. Probably the latter half of their last 20 minutes in the second half, probably kind of buttoned off a bit. 2 meat pies first half. The second was just individual brilliance. Just bumped that guy off. Still had 10 meters to go and 100 defenders around him. Still made the try. You know, so yeah, I really like that. Just backed himself. Late leg injury first half. Hopefully it's just minor. Mind you, he kind of got on with it too. So hopefully it's nothing major for him. His third meat pie was all class. He still had to beat that Ruben Garrick. So he got the pass, but the fullback was sweeping. But nailed it. And it was nice. Good intercept. Manly were ready to score. They had the numbers on them, and they were hunting. They were hunting for that just to cross our try line. So that was nice. Quite into the second half. But Dallin had already done enough. His stats, so he ran for 173 meters, 26 post contact, 6 tackle breaks. I couldn't quite believe the stat when I saw it, but they said that he made no tackles. And I was like, 0? That was, I was thinking, okay. But then he missed no tackles. So.
Yeah, well, that's a good way to look at it.
Made 2 years and played for the whole 80 minutes. But for me, Dallin, that Friday night got a 9 out of 10.
Nice.
And he's
nice.
Just Mr. Reliable. Always pops up in the right places.
Now equal try scorer too, leader, I should say, which is awesome. 21 tries, I think it is.
Yeah. Oh, my overall rating was 8 out of 10 for the left edge and right edge.
Cool.
Nice.
Nice.
It was good to see Dallin come in for those carries in the, because usually like the last few weeks anyway, we've just seen him, just stick to that sideline. He's just been on his, on his side, just doing his mahi down there, which is where he's meant to be. But on Friday, he was doing a lot of carries, up the middle, which was awesome. Yeah, and I agree with you there. All that try he got was just stepping.
Oh, man.
Like 7 players. Or well, he fended one and stepped like 5. And I was just like, that's mean. Because he's not a big guy.
No.
So that try was well deserved.
Yep. Yeah, a bit different to his normal try-scoring feat. So it was actually nice to see him stepping a few guys and fend and all that as well, showing a bit more of a complete game, really.
Yeah, heck yeah.
Yeah, no, nice. Sweet. So we're going to shoot over to Nick now, our host with the most. You're covering the spine, Nick. What were your ratings for them?
I just want to say first and foremost that I'm very happy that Charnze and Wade were in this game. I think they had to really munner up against a pretty slick Manly team. And now this is not to say that Payne Tuopiki can't munner up, but I think just for safety's sake and the fact that Charnze's been playing with these players longer than Tuopiki has, and he's definitely going to get his chance when it comes. But we definitely needed them. We definitely needed them in this game. So Charnze, just looking at what I saw from the sidelines, he one negative, and this is only one really. He did miss that first tackle. I think it was in the first minute on Arthur. I think.
Their first try.
Yeah, that first try in the first minute. So
I think it was Charnze and Aiden.
It wasn't just him. Yeah. It wasn't just him.
Jay missed it. Eden missed it. Charnze missed it.
Yeah. So I think when you look back at those that corridor with Uncle Anaru in the most recent times, talking about those mental lapses, I wonder if that's one of them, because that's quite uncharacteristic of us as of late to do that. But anyway, it's going into the brother stats. Just having a look over these stats: all run meters 183, 10 meters shy of Addin. 51 post contact, 1 line break, 1 try assist. That was that pass out to Dallin, I believe. 1 tackle break, only 4 hit ups, but I'm pretty sure I saw the brother. Anyway, only 4 hit ups. 3 tackles made and 1 missed, obviously, 60%. But Mr. Reliable back there, and we've already touched on it, that awful coming together with Garrick. Nothing really much he could have done. Obviously, if you're a Manly supporter, you're going to say, it should have been a penalty, and if you're a Warriors supporter, you say nothing much he really could have done. He was going for the ball. He just unfortunate that happened.
Did you know Did you see he ran? Charnze ran from the try line to charge that ball, and I was like, "Fuck, man, he was moving." So he not only got the touchdown, but he was still chasing. I was just like, "Bro, that's commitment, man."
I think he could just see what DC was going to do, and then when that didn't come off, he just had the try line in his mind, right? Because he was just like, "Fuck, if I can get this, I'm out of here."
Yeah, he ran a long way, bro.
Yeah, he ran a long way, cuz. So my try for our my score for our number 1 is 8 out of 10.
Nice.
Swinging it over to our 5'8", old Metcalf. A bit of a mixed bag for me. I wonder, and I think I've said this before, I wonder if there's a trust issue between him and that left side. I'm serious. Yeah. I'm serious because I could go back through Sharks game. I could go back to the Raiders game and just look at some things where, look, I love how he wants to go as his own, and he backs himself and he wants to score tries. But I also feel like
not passing. Is that what you're talking about? Like him not passing?
And it's not just to Pompey or skip pass out to Montoya, but I've seen him. Yeah, I've just seen him a couple of times. I've just gone, bro. There could have been something on there. More often than not, he's gone himself. Again, I'm not complaining about him. I'm just saying, I wonder if there's some sort of trust issue there, or I don't know, the chemistry is just not there yet.
Or it could be lack of experience too. You know, just
That's
not.
what I was wondering.
You know, I mean, he's yeah,
a
and probably
baby.
still trying
Real
to
young.
you know, like I just think it might be that lack of experience. Maybe he might just want to, you know, who was good at that? Fucking you and Aiken, bloody never passing the ball either.
Yeah.
But
seriously.
yeah, but yeah, I think he had a good game, Metcalf. But
Yeah,
yeah,
Have
I
he-
totally agree with you, bro. Because like there was a couple of times when he had the ball and he didn't offload. I'm like, bro, why? Like your men were open.
Maybe he just needs a good clip around the ears. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or young fella.
young fella.
Well,
Hey.
I was going to add and say that I think I do think it's a little bit of experience, and it seems like he's more of a run it first kind of guy. Like I think he's more like I can see the line, I can have a crack, and I think sometimes instead of having a crack, if he gave that tip ball, it'll be a lot easier. So I think it's experience of knowing what to do in those moments, and I think he'll get there.
Or maybe it's just not.
Bro. Yeah, bro.
Yeah. Like maybe that's it. Maybe it's just not in his locker at the moment. Like. I suppose, unfortunately, we're comparing him to Mighty Martin or to like a Sean Johnson, where it looks like they've got all the time in the world and they've got 4 options. Yeah, so maybe it's a little bit unfair kind of thinking about it in that respect. But solid game. Had he scored that try, man, I think had DCE not sold it, who's the guy in bloody Titans that sold it as well? Bloody Foreign.
Yeah.
Bro. And then we didn't end up scoring that one as well. So I don't know. Maybe our runners need a. I don't know.
That's a hard one, bro.
It's a hard one.
Yeah,
because you're running, expecting the ball.
Yeah,
but you're not going to run. Yeah.
I mean, are you supposed to just stop? It's like they've already got momentum going forward. How on earth are they supposed to fucking just? Yeah.
So does that?
If you're running and you're watching your man next to you, or you're watching where the ball's going, and you don't see that player in front of you, what do you mean to do? So if you run, what do you mean to do? Fall to the ground or
what I don't want to happen right now is a precedence start being set, because other teams are going to watch this and go, fuck, if I can't get over there to Dallin, right? I'm just gonna run into Ford, or I'm gonna run into Marata, and I'm gonna right?
Yeah.
But anyway, so just looking at his stats, just real quickly. They're pretty solid. He had a pretty solid game, all around 10, 51 meters, 6 post contact, 2 line break assists. That's what I like seeing. Oh no, sorry, I'm reading the wrong ones, guys. No, one tackle break. I was going, holy hell, that's better than Sean's. 1 tackle break, 1 dummy half run, 14 meters from dummy half. 16 tackles made, 6 missed. 6 missed.
It's a few misses.
A couple of misses there. One an efficient tackle. Did he give away a penalty? No, he didn't. So giving Luke, I'm giving Luke a 6 out of 10.
Pretty fair.
Yep, 6 out of 10. Over to Johnson. I'm just going to say this, right? It's just like he's probably 3 players that I, if they ever go down, I'm going and getting a little bit nervous. It's him, it's Egan, and it's our number 1. Right? If any of those 3 go down with anything, I'm just a bit nervous for the next game. But pushing our boys around the park. Yeah, I know he's got an injury. You guys said he's got an injury, or it's common knowledge now he's got an injury. And is it a calf injury or something?
Quad, I believe.
Quad injury. So he's given the kicking duty. Well, the kicking duties are now going to Adam Pompey. Can anyone explain to me why he's our option to kick all the time, like on the 5th, if he's kind of harboring an injury?
Because I'm sure we said it doesn't hurt him when he's playing footy,
right,
or when he's doing the little kicks, around the field. But it's just when he's kicking the conversions, and I think it might be because lifting your leg or stretching, your legs elevated, and you tend to be stretching out your quad a bit more. Not that I know, because I fucking hate it. But I'm just assuming. But yeah, anyway, that's what they said, that it doesn't hurt him while he's running around the field or doing those little kicks. It's when he is kicking for the conversions.
Okay.
I think Pompey's good at it. Like he missed this one there, he missed one last week. But man, I like having him there.
He's a good backup.
Yeah, totally. No, I'm just asking a question because in that second half, I felt like his kicking was a bit flat. or kicking straight down the throat of Garrick most of the time. That's just from the stadium, from what I was observing. Anyway, I don't know what it was like at home, but
it's actually quite good you brought it up, because even if you notice, like even Metcalf had a few little kicks during that game too, which usually
he had 3
all the kicking. And so it was interesting to see. So you got Pompey doing all the conversion. You're seeing Luke Metcalf, and he put in that nice little kick too between Saab and Garrick, I think it was. So yeah, interesting.
And even Wade put a grubber in. That must be the first time he's done that all season. So yeah, that was kind of like, oh, sure, okay, you can kick it.
Yeah, needs to do it more often, I reckon.
Yeah,
just to mix it up a bit.
Yeah,
we got that short dropout for that, eh?
Yeah, it was nice. It was pitch perfect.
Yeah. So, and obviously he iced it once again. Iced it in the last minute, putting the game beyond doubt. So, but I didn't want to score him too high. I didn't want to give him a 9, so I've given him an 8 out of 10.
Sure.
You know, and I'm just thinking, like, does he need a rest? Does this brother need just to have a game? You know,
I wonder that.
Not play him against the Dragons. Not to say that Dragons are going to be an easy beat, because respect every team. But is there a possibility that he just sits out the Dragons?
Yeah, I reckon we need him 100% for the playoffs, and we've got a pretty young player in Ronald Volkman, so why not?
It's funny actually, because I was listening to Andrew Voss on Stens, and he said the same thing. He was like, "Do you rest SJ? You rest, Egan, SJ, rest your spine members pretty much." I think he said, like your backbone of the team, and just now that we've got that depth.
Or would Uncle Anaru play him? I don't know. Play him 20 minutes in the first half and 20 minutes in the second half.
I was going to say too, because Webby's been big about, and he said it all year long, he'll leave it up to the players, So if they're good to go, they're good to go. And it's on them to, and Sean
play every game then.
Yeah, Shawnee's always put his hand up, but I mean, who knows? Because I just remember. Yeah, Uncle Anaru saying that, it's up to the players in regards to set plays, injuries, whatever. If they're good to go, then leave them. Let them go.
My also concern too is how often we come back from the bye looking less than. So if you do rest the player, what are they going to come back like?
Good point, Damien.
All right. Fuck what I said then. Screw what I said.
I think
it's not going anywhere, bro.
Very important, bro.
Yeah.
Very much appreciated.
Get the point.
I was just going to say, I agree with you though. I do think he needs a rest, and I think this might be a perfect opportunity to do that this game, especially.
Yeah, but if it's up to the players, bro, players ain't going nowhere. They're not going anywhere but on the field.
That's right.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Anyway, I've done a score. So over to our number 9. Happy's back. Again, this is no disrespect to Lussick or anything. I think he's a good player as well. Only played 61 minutes, 3 runs, 33 run meters. But it's just that passing, hey guys. It's like Addin gets tackled 1 meter out. He stands up behind him. He takes 1 step, and that ball is just flying way past everyone. And Johnson just has it there, and he's got all the time in the world, and he's doing his thing. It's just that passing, whether it's going left or right. Nothing really much to complain about with the bro.
He milked a good penalty too. Shot out from dummy half, and it's like, shot, bro. That's the one.
He's good at that. He's got a couple of those, eh? He can read plays really well now too.
It's choice.
Clever footy player. 1 kick that went 5 meters. One forced dropout. 1 grubber, which is actually part of the kick. 1 error. I think tackling. 28 made, 6 missed.
Oh wow!
Yeah, made 6 missed for him. Metcalf was 16 made, 6 missed. So, we need a hooker to be making those tackles.
What did he go off for?
Wasn't it a hammy?
Oh, okay.
I don't know. It's hard
Yeah.
to understand from them.
I was just thinking, fuck, I hope it's not his head.
Again.
Yeah.
So yeah, real happy he's back. Gave the boys 7 out of 10. So kind of bit of a mixed bag for all these guys. Probably an average of around about seven for the whole team. But yeah, I just want to actually touch on our scores from last week because we haven't done these yet. Nick, I'm 22-18, Damien 28-18, Reo 28-26, Ty 24-20 to Manly, and our Wahine 24-22. So we're kind of there or thereabouts. I think Damien's probably the closest at 28-18, I think.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'll take that.
You take that, bro. You take away the closest score prediction for the week, bro. But yeah, we got the lollies, cuz. That was our spine for the week.
Nicely done, bro. So last but not least, we'll head over to graphics guru Ty, covering the forwards. Give us your ratings, bro.
Thank you. I'm going to apologize in advance. I see my camera keeps glitching over the last couple of weeks, and I see it's still doing that thing. So if it's glitching and you get was it epilepsy? Or you have epilepsy, I apologize.
Just say it's for special effects, bro.
Yeah. It is not. But in terms of myself, so yeah, I had the forwards this week, and I guess we'll start up. We'll just go from 8 to 13. So obviously AFB, what's already been said, especially at the start of the game, we were reaching for a tackle that led to that first try, and obviously a couple fell off as well. But just kind of rewatching the footage, he did get caught standing flat-footed and had to kind of go across. So Jacob Arthur just stressed that line and got through. So yeah, something like that. 193 meters. He still got through his workload. I think it's quite hard to kind of sometimes keep the biasness of other games. He's probably got a high expectation. He's always constantly the highest run meters, usually in the 200. So, I kind of had to kind of take that into the picture that he was still the highest running meters this week. But he just got into his work solid. For what I remember of the game, he just got stuck in both on attack and defense. So for this week, I gave Addin a 7. And a lot of this week, actually, to be honest, I had to go watch the replay again because I was just purely in the game and watching everyone. But yeah, I gave Addin a 7 this week. Off to Bunty. Very interesting game. Obviously, he started, but I don't think they see him as necessarily a starter that stays on for long. Obviously, they just see him as the interchange, but it's going to start off that kind of start. And I think it's purely to, do the from the back fence runs and, kind of get stuck into all the pressure stuff that comes at the start of the game. But, unfortunately, he had a drop ball on that first one. And I kind of blame Egan for that. The pass wasn't exactly in front of him.
Yeah, bro. So, it was high.
Bunty was quite, himself and calm, but in my head, I've been spraying Egan for that ball. But, he only had 5 runs, 35 meters. I'll be honest, I remember him just running a lot of decoys. There wasn't really much times where he was running and doing much. And he only had 17 minutes. He was the lowest in terms of minutes for the game. So, to be honest, I was like, how do I rate him? He's kind of sitting 4.5 instead of 5. But then I looked at his play the ball speed, and as someone that's only on for 17 minutes, you would kind of expect that play the ball to be really quick. And it was at 4.7 seconds, which was the highest. I think we need someone that's really playing their ball real quick, especially if you're only on for so long. And I'm sure they didn't hook him. I think this was the plan. So for that, purely on that, I had to be a bit harsh this week, and I gave him a 4. Purely based on stats, and we didn't get to see much of him. So yeah, a bit harsh. I actually like Bunty, but just off the game in the weekend, I think it's purely because of the minutes, but also what he produced in those minutes, drop ball and a lot of decoys. Yes, sorry, man. I think this is the most perfect score for this week.
That's pretty cool.
So moving on to Jackson Ford. I think he was solid, nothing too crazy. I do love, and I see Johnson doing this a lot, and even now Metcalf has said they love to kind of go wider and cut back, get the second rows running that kind of cut back line. And I think Jackson Ford almost got through in one of them. Obviously, next man I'll talk about got through and scored a try. And that lead running line now. I hear what you guys are saying. I do think DCE sold that, and I don't know. It's a person running into you when you put your hands up. I calculate that as bad read if you're putting your hands up to make that tackle.
Yeah.
But when I guess running it, to the rules, if you run into the man like how we did, it was constituted as considered as a penalty any day of the week. So I think on that we have to kind of look at that as he's got to correct those lines, even though it's a really tight line you have to kind of run. He had 2 tackle breaks, 70, I think about 78 meters. I might have been 72 meters in terms of runs. Again, wasn't crazy. I think he was around the ball and trying to sniff here and there. And he just did his work, and I don't think we needed, anything special. We just need people to constantly be solid. So this week I was looking at more a 6.5, and I didn't think he was a 6. So I gave Jackson Ford a 7 this week for his game out there. Now moving on to Marata Niukore.
My man.
He got stuck in here and there. One thing I have to note about his game, and I don't, it's not just him. I think this is the forwards, and I think this is part of the mental lapses, is if we go watch some of the tries, look how distorted our line is. And partly is when we line up as marker, so if you're left side second row or your right side second row, you should automatically be pointing to your side. And now for me, that was just stuff I got learned as a schoolboy. If you're on the left hand side, you're pointing left. These guys are confusing lines. Like, if they're on the left hand side, they're pointing right, and the left hand's going the other way. And I'm like, I think part of the game, where we're struggling is because we're not in our right positions. And you actually will see in the game that we're out of position a bit. That leads to some of these tries. So for me, Murata was doing that a little bit throughout the game, and I was like, "Oh man, it's kind of sad because obviously I thought he was solid. That try at the end, his centre south came out. Obviously Garrick looked like he had a bit of problem. I thought it was a leg, but totally forgot the tackle that happened before. But he just gassed it around and scored that try. So that capped off good night. He had 7 tackles, 3 tackle breaks. 97% tackle efficiency. So for me, no one got really through him. So just based on that and the try that was so epic, and hopefully the boys work on their markers, or I don't know, maybe it's the gameplay, maybe that's what Webby and Ego brought to the team, is to confuse the defensive lines of their attack. But on that, I gave Marata a 8 this week. His effort.
Bro, when he blew through that line, and it was just like, and he's on his own. I was kind of like watching him, and it was like, when he made that decision just to back himself, I was like, yeah, fuck, that's the one, bro, let's go. and then he, he got there, and I was like, man, too much, bro. He, because I thought he was going to get smoked. I was waiting for the fullback or the winger to get him, and I was like, bro, he's going to make it. Yeah.
Even if they did get him, he's too big. I think he would have just, I just think he would have taken them over the line anyway. He's too powerful once he gets his run on, eh?
Yeah.
And I
absolutely.
think, by that stage, Garrett couldn't run as well.
Yeah.
He was
smart photo was there. Who gave him that? Well, there was SJA, of course.
Yep.
It probably was. So was that just clever play from SJ? Like, bro, I'm just going to set you up against this guy because he's munted anyway. So here you go. Yeah. Good luck, Garrett.
Yeah, no, I actually think they were just going through the motions, and SJ was just trying to set up for the next play, and it just happened to be a gap, and Murata just shot straight through it. So they but yeah, didn't not until the replays you saw Garrett kind of pull up, and I was like, oh, okay, sure. He whatever was wrong with him.
I need to learn about the game. Like, this is what I want to do. I want to be able to read up, because it's just like head tie, the left front row and the right. I'm like, what? So that's where I'm clueless. Like, I know the game. I know a lot about the game, but there's just there's a lot that I don't know.
Cool.
I want to be able to skill myself up, so when I watch next year, and then I can read it like you do, Ty, to spell what you're saying here. I'm like, man, I want to be able to know those things. I want to be able to read plays and be able to dissect the plays as well. And yeah. So, yeah.
Nice.
Cool.
You know, a lot of us are just talking shit, eh?
Yeah.
Nah. Making shit up.
Oh,
Nah.
actually, Chance, go look up Waz Up podcast on if you're not already following the bro.
Yeah.
Levon.
He's really good. He's the
He's
guy.
the man. He's the man.
Down, I'm just like, bro, how do you do that? Like, it's just that footy IQ, eh? And that's I want to be able to. That's what I want. I want that.
Kia ora.
Awesome.
Yeah, and I think, you know, just to express how Marata got through, just wait as Johnson. Johnson took it to the line, and Tuolangi shot up. And you know, you should, as a second row, you don't let their halfback dance, but because he shot up, it created the opening for Marata to just go straight through, and that's what happened. So yeah, that was a lot of it thanks to Johnson, and then luckily Marata just had one-on-one with Garrick, and Garrick wasn't his best self, and yeah, could have took that opportunity, which is good. I hate forwards when they run and they just go straight into the fullback. Like, bro, if you got pace, back yourself, my bro.
Yeah.
So that was awesome. So for my last one, Tohu Harris, good little fakie and go for that try. I was so happy with that one. That was so awesome. And I think for him, you know, he's obviously even last week he gave that little pop ball to Mitchell Barnett, and there's so many games where he's either given that short ball back door, but not quite often, you know, actually seeing if it's his opportunity to go. And I think it's just because he's waiting for times like this where everyone was looking for his pass, and he took his opportunity and went through. So that was really cool. Yeah, and he held the middle down in defense. Oh, I'm disappearing. Here we are. Held the middle down on defense. 36 tackles, so he tackled was the highest tackler for the Waz this week. 5 tackle breaks. I thought he had a real solid game. And you know, I think he's been captain reliable. He's someone that again, like, he hasn't been shown in the last couple of games, but before that, it's like the tape was holding onto his knees. So he's another person that I hope that's 100% come week 1 of finals. But I definitely think he had a solid game and did some solid stuff. So I also gave him an 8 this week. For that too. So on overall, the score I gave the forwards is a 7. And I thought our forwards did well. But I do think, if you actually go watch a lot of tries, and I'll go back to the AddinFonua-Blake when he got broken by Jacob Arthur. We've got our 9, which is Wade Egan on the left-hand side, and then you've got our second row that's in the middle. That's what I mean. It's like, if you had Egan there, he would have pushed the boys over. You know what I mean? It's like, that's what stress it creates. And I feel like it's the markers is where we're getting caught. And even last week and the week before, a lot of our tries are our markers, or our line's a little bit off. So yeah. That's me.
Nice one, bro. Thank you.
Cheer, bro.
Yeah,
awesome.
I'll just say something about Tohu. So I Wikipedia'd that guy today. I was like, I just want to, bro, like, did you know that he's played a couple of games? I don't know if Wikipedia, I'm like, are you sure? Like, are you sure? So they're saying that he played a couple of games at 5'8", not with the Warriors, but just
for the Kiwis.
For the Kiwis.
And one at fullback. And one at fullback.
Wow.
At 5'8", and he's even kicked some goals. So even the bro can kick some goals.
Wow.
So I kind of was like, oh, really? 5'8"? Because if that's the case, he must be the biggest 5'8" that's ever played in the position then. I mean, the guy's...
Definitely seen him play 5'8", but how old was he when he played fullback? Was he like 13 or?
Yeah, I was going to say, was it under 6s?
Within the Kiwis, he played, and he was more of a bench player. A lot of in the international game, he came off. He came off the bench, but 5'8". I'm like, good God. The other bloody 5'8" must have been shit scared if you were standing in front of him. Anyway, just saying, I was really surprised by that. I couldn't imagine Tohu playing in the halves at all. Like, I just think that guy is just a forward through and through. He's just a lock forward, he's just a lock. That means pop, lock and drop it.
And you can see kind of through his game, he's a real good ball handler. So I can see why, he probably showed his footy IQ a long time ago. And I remember in the Kiwis, like, oh, Tohu running there, we haven't seen it. But then, if I think about the Warriors, we've had the likes of Faledi Mateo run at 6. He's a big body, usually playing in the front row too. So it's cool to see the adaptation of, the forwards and what they can do.
Definitely.
Was it just me, or were Manly smashing Tohu on Friday? Was it just me, or were they just up there like, boom, we are going down because you are just like, I noticed a lot of big hits on Tohu.
It was definitely one of their tactics. They were trying to bully our forward pack and a few of the backs. They were just trying to rough them up. Thankfully, our guys just don't buy into it. They just, our guys just just settle into their job, know what they got to do. And
we don't fight back, eh?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
Sorry,
the game plan.
And he wasn't heavily strapped. Like, I don't even think he was strapped on one of those legs. No, he wasn't. Because usually he's been going on with having both of his knees strapped.
Oh, okay. That's what you mean. Yeah.
But there was one that had no tape at all on it. So for me, I'm like, yo, that's a good. To me, I'm just like, okay, well, that's good. Or am I wrong? Usually, I think I have both of his knees have been strapped.
Yeah, no, it was only one. Probably not.
Nice, good sign.
Just want to say, got someone called George Taylor in the comment sections. He says Tohu was a beast at 16 for Tamatea back in the day.
Sure.
When you're 16 years old, apparently.
Nice.
Actually, if I can do like a quick shout out. Well, of course I can. It's my show.
Nice, right?
I don't know if you guys noticed another brother on the microphone at the stadium.
Yes.
Yeah. Thinking,
The bro is hilarious.
Pio Kote Whakaaro, what do you guys think of him?
Cool.
Oh, he's all good. He's all good. But was he like your whanaunga or was just some random drunk? He was funny, bro. He was funny.
Kiritopa Hokena. I met him on the bus. I met him on the NRL bus going down to
the Hamilton game.
To the Hamilton game.
Sure.
And we just got on. He's like one of those dudes. I think he might still be on the lives. He said a couple of Mr. Move It, yeah. So bro, this guy's a cracker. I know he's still on the lives. He's just giving us a bit of a funny face. I met him on the bus, and I was just like, man, he's got some vibes about this fella, and like he's a regular. He calls up the My FM regularly, and like gets on the radio station. He just brings the vibes. He brings the funniness. He's that type of whānau dude, right? I'm sure we all know someone like very similar to him. And he said to me on the bus, he was like, he really wants to get into media, and I was just like, bro, I'm in media, and you don't need much. I've got a camera, I've got a microphone. Come along to the game, and maybe we can, get you on. And then I was texting him during the week. I said, bro, are you coming? He's like, yeah, bro, I'm coming. I go, cool. Do you want to interview a couple of fans before the game? He's like, fucking hells yeah. Hells yeah.
Nice.
So I told him I'll get to the game at 7. The kickoff's at 8. Bro texts me at 6 o'clock. He goes, I'm here.
Yeah, he's keen.
And I'm like, that's the energy I'm looking for. That's the energy I'm looking for. So on the way there, sends me another text message. He goes, I've already got a couple of people lined up. And I'm like,
oh wow,
this is gonna be a good night. So I'm like, get there. Obviously the bro, not much experience in this. Then you can tell he's got the nerves and everything. He kind of reminds me a little bit like me at the beginning of the year, and he's in there and he's like got the microphone flying around. I'm just like, bro, this guy's awesome. I was just standing near the camera like this. Oh,
nice, bro.
No, yeah, so mihi atu ki a koe e hoa, kiritopa, you the man, bro. Funny fella. Yeah, bro, he's the man. So massive mihi to him. I do have some important things though that we need to address. This portai, we had a couple of people come through on the old Facebook and the Instagram, and I have picked one at complete random.
Nice.
And the winner of this portai, it's quite a nice one, corduroy. I don't know if you guys can see it properly, bit of a corduroy thing going on, like a vintage kind of thing.
Nice.
But this portai is going to, I believe it's a Mr. Of course, yeah. His picture's he's got him and his wife there. His name's Rex George Slattery. I will send you a DM, or if anyone's watching this and you're whānau of Rex George, you want to give him a bit of a DM and say get in contact with Nick over at Warriors Fan TV so we can get your address, and I can send you off one of these portai. So big ups to League Lids. Hopefully we'll get some more from League Lids at some stage, and we can give those away as well. So thank you to everybody that entered in to get one of these pretty cool looking portai.
Nice.
Well done.
Bro. No, those they're Porto, the corduroy look kind of thing. It's
quite nice,
it's
eh?
mean. Yeah,
It's different. It's different.
Mean.
Different.
and it's the
Yeah.
old school badge. It's just like
Yeah.
yeah.
Don't know how official it is though, so it's definitely not. I don't think it's come from the Warriors HQ down the road. Never mind about the details or where it's come from. Never mind about those details.
Oh, there'll be plenty out there, bro. Hey,
Totally,
right.
totally.
Anyone's got any of the viewers or any of the bros, you or anyone, any of, you know, Ty, I don't know, Leo, whoever can give me a heads up on some books or some websites or places to go, you know, where I can learn, you know, I would be very much appreciated.
Yeah,
all good, cuz.
anyone at home as well, they're still watching this. If you want to drop it in the comments, or if you're watching this delayed on YouTube, drop it in the comments, in your websites or in your videos or anything like that, because you know I need to school up on my understanding as well. You know, big ups to my mate Dale who coaches, and all the other coaches as well. They coach the under-10s Howard Hornets. Big up the Howard Hornets, teaching me and a couple of other dads about the game as well, and as well as you guys as well. I'm massive appreciation to you guys for teaching me heaps about the game too, because I'm still
I've learned heaps. I've learned heaps. And like I said, it just gives me I've just got such a huge appreciation for doing this year, and just more of a love for the Warriors in general. Like I know, like I watch every game, I watch every team, but I just have, and I used to follow other teams. Not follow them, but like I'd have a second team that I liked or a third team, you know, like last year I might have liked the Cowboys. Now, well, I just don't like the team but the Warriors, and they're the only thing that are cool. And that's
it's always good it's always good to school up on this stuff, because sooner or later you're going to run into dickheads that are going to be like, you know, man, the Warriors is shit. And it's like, yeah, no, but if you start questioning people about how much they actually know, they don't know fucking anything. You know, they're just whatever. They're just pulling shit out of the air. So it's always good to kind of have a good understanding, because that's a really good base to start from, and then and everything you talk about is pretty much facts. So yeah.
Well said.
Yeah, I want to be able to know what I'm talking about. I don't want to be like I just want to know what I'm talking about just for myself. So when I watch a game, I'm like, oh, you know, I want to see those ones that, you know, like, yeah.
Yeah,
That's all good.
Got you, Tans. We'll send some stuff in the DMs and share some stuff. And I personally think too, just speaking from my own experience, I think a lot of us get involved at club footy level and actually being involved, because I think there's a lot of nuanced stuff. So I think there's the technical stuff as well, but there's a lot of nuancy stuff within just being a part of a team, and well, part of it has been a parent that's going to watch their child, but I think it's actually getting involved in the trainings and like actually watching how things kind of unfold. You start to see and learn a few things.
Absolutely.
So let me know, people that are watching, you to the bros on Warriors Fan TV. Yeah, just let me know. You know, people I can talk to, or people that can just drop some
knowledge.
Yeah, drop some knowledge, just because I
gold bombs.
I learn, just so okay.
No, I'm with you.
What is it? My league IQ and my league speech, would it be, or the words I use and how I break things down instead of just being like, oh yes, and
No, I'm with you, Tans. I'm with you, Tans. Like, you know, I've watched the game for a long time, but it really wasn't until probably 3 years ago when my boys started playing, where I really realized how fucking little I knew. I'm like, oh, okay. Then I started kind of like schooling myself up to a little bit, like okay, second rowers do this, and okay, then you know, the first receiver does that, okay, because you know, I look at Sean Johnson and just go, he's just you know,
Mm.
he's the one who controls. Yeah.
That's a big up to you, Nick, you know, and just an appreciation to you and a mihi to you, actually, because it's Onward actually breaking it down. So you've got, as we do every week, each of us takes a section of you know, our team and break it down. And so I think in that aspect, it's not just for the fans that weren't, you know, getting a look in, but for us, we're actually learning. We're learning about the halves. We're learning about the spine, the interchange, backs, forwards. And for me, I'm just like, damn, man, like how much work they do or how much work they're not doing. And so it's good. And I appreciate yous. I appreciate yous all on Warriors Fans TV.
Nice.
Appreciate you too, Dan.
We sure do.
Seriously, I love this, and I love doing this.
Oh.
And I hope we continue on with it or something like that next season.
Well, just because the season is finishing up in a couple of weeks doesn't mean we need to stop doing this.
No. And I was thinking that, but anyway, we can talk about that.
We can talk about that another time.
Well, if we win the final, I'll definitely be carrying on for a while.
Absolutely, bro. Absolutely. And just for the record, Tans, you know, I'm just a shit talker. I come from a league background and understood the rules, but the rules have evolved in the last shucks, man, 20, 30 years, you know, and that's the beauty of our game. That you know, it's got to that stage where, and it's, you know, it's like if you look at rugby league from the Australian perspective, you know, because they've had their cop running for fucking a long time. They got families. They've had generations of Eels followers and Bulldogs followers, Rabbitohs, the Roosters, you know. We have the same thing here in New Zealand. You know, different clubs have real staunch histories. So it's one thing to learn the technical side of the game, but there's people out there that have just live it, breathe it, you know, and have really like top-notch understandings of it, you know, and how much the game's grown and stuff. So yeah, it's always good to kind of learn that a little bit more. You know, and it just adds to your own kete, you know, what you're learning. You share it with everyone else, and yeah, everyone's a winner.
I think we should finish off with our score predictions for the Dragons game, because season's not over.
You want some quick head-to-head stats, bro?
Let's go for some head-to-head stats, my bro.
Okay, the last 6 seasons, back to 2018, we've played them 9 times, played the Dragons. We've won 6 of them. The Dragons have won 3. Biggest Dragons win was 2022 round 1. They beat us 28-16. Biggest Warriors win was this year, round 17, 48-18. Over there in the gong. Prior to that, it was 2020. Round 3, we won 18-0 over there. The Dragons have won both games last year. They beat us 28-16, 24-18, respectively. The last time we won both games against the Dragons was 2018. We won 20-12 and 18-12. The last time we beat the Dragons at Mount Smart was 2018, round 7. So it's been a while. It's been a long time.
And can I just add that a couple of hours after those tickets went on sale?
Yeah.
Gone.
Me, bro.
How amazing is that?
That is all gone. So
last home game,
another 24,500. Yeah. So the last home, well, the last home game of the regular season.
Regular season, bro.
True. Actually, yeah, that's a good point.
That's a good point. So big mihi to everyone that just snapped up those tickets. Team at the bottom third of the table has nothing to lose. So we came up against another team, bottom third of the table, at the bottom of the ladder with nothing to lose in the Tigers.
Oh yeah, I love Tuesdays, teamless Tuesdays. Love it. You know that I'm always there. I'm always on the other Warriors pages, actually, like, hey, has it been released yet? What's the time? Is it 6? Because it comes out at 6, eh? Is it 6? 5 or whatever time out, but I'm there and I love it. And I am on there comparing both teams. Anyway, I will go for.
Hold on, let me get a pen out. There you go. Let's go.
Let's go.
I don't know. I might go. I'm wondering if it will be a big score. Oh, it's taking me a while now. I'm just like, I'm
anyone else? No.
Yeah.
I'm just going to go 40 points to 14. 40-14. There you go. There you go.
14. Sure.
All right. Anyone else want to go? Oh, fuck, I'll go next. I don't think it's going to be that big. I think from what we've seen in the last couple of games, we're a bit slow to get into games, which is cool. And then we start getting into them. And then we kind of I'll say, we start to choke teams out in that kind of second half where it's a bit of arm wrestle. Although they're really, we talk about our left being crap. Warbrick, bro, down on that edge. And Sloan just can't tackle anyway. So now I'm confused. No, I'm going to say 34. I'm going to say 34-18.
18. Sure. Yeah, I'll go next. I'm thinking, if anything, if the last 3 weeks have been anything to follow the pattern, you know what? Fuck it. I reckon we're going to smoke them. We'll put a decent score on them. Home game, home crowd. The crowd are digging it, man. All the chanting and stuff. 56-12.
Nice.
Let's go.
Yeah, fuck them. We're gonna do a number on them.
Nice.
6-12.
Yeah.
If that's the score, I reckon Metcalf will have a hat trick. If that's the score.
Yeah.
Right.
Nice.
True.
I'll go next, but before I do, I just want to point out a stat that hasn't been mentioned yet that I think needs to be mentioned. So this is the first time in 21 years we've won 6 games in a row. 2002.
It's been a while.
Cool.
Been a while. Yeah.
Massive stat.
Massive stat. Anyhow, my score prediction. I'm thinking Warriors win 30-16.
Okay. Sure.
And last.
What's the weather forecast? Nah.
What's
at
the
moment? What's the team list first?
Yeah.
Hard out. What is the team list? It's going to make a big difference. Having watched the Drays game, I haven't caught full games, but the scores change real quick. Goes from they're really tight in the games, and all of a sudden they've lost. So I was like, what the heck? I do think the Warriors are going to get up on this one. I'm going to say in my defense on last prediction, I did go on Wise Up podcast and say a different one and acknowledge the one I said. So it did change. Thank you. Just putting it out there.
There is evidence.
Nice.
There is evidence.
Nice.
It was before the game. But I'm going to go 38-14 boys this week.
Nice.
38-14. Cool. 38-14. Look, Reo, I hope you're right, brother. On that one.
Would love to see that.
Gonna nail it sooner or later, bro. One of these big schools.
One of these days you'll get there. But Daniel Anderson Stadium, is that just for one game, you reckon? Or
yeah, just the one, sir. Hence why I'm wearing the 2003 jersey.
Nice, bro.
Nice. Itiiwi, thank you so much again. This has been awesome.
It's been
you guys have an awesome week. Tans, message me, or drop it in the chat when the team list comes out, because I know you'll be all over that.
Definitely, but and to you, boys, like, just to give you a heads up, I actually appreciate all the mahi you do on this page too, because I kind of click, I'm just like, not click, but anyway, it's just good having guys on that are league lovers just like me.
Of course.
Yeah, awesome having you, Tans. Awesome having all you guys.
Mate.
Like any team should.
All right.
what do they say? Teamwork makes the dream work. Anyway, my sugar's dropping, so I need to go and have some sugar and some food. So it was nice to catch up with you guys tonight. I think it's awesome, and so I'll catch you next week. Is it?
Go the fucking Warriors.
Up the Wars.
Go
the Wars.
Yeah, bro.
And
Every day, baby.
ka kite whānau.
All right. Ka kite, bro.
Thank you.
Yeah. Ngā mihi,
Yeah, right.
fam.
All right. Sure.